to me. See the man with the lonely eyes. Oh, take his hand, you'll be surprised. Oh, yeah. Give a little bit, give a little bit of your love to me. Give a little bit, I'll give a little bit of my life to you. Now's the time that we need to share. So find yourself, we're on our way back home. Oh, going home. Don't you need to feel at home? Oh yeah, we gotta sing. Announcements.
Good morning to everybody watching online. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto. My name is Tanis, and Happy New Year! We made it! For those of you who are new to us, the first Sunday of every month is our birthday and anniversary Sunday. So we have a basket with some ballots that has been circulating. If you have a birthday or an anniversary this month, you get to fill out a ballot and sign your name and a registered charity, and a percentage of what we gather during our offering today goes to that registered charity. So while we mix and mingle that a little bit, I'll just fill you in on a couple of things. On Saturday, January 24th, we have a Tune Up Your Prosperity Consciousness class. It's a spiritual economics workshop based on the book by Eric Butterworth. It's all day from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and it's also available online. Price is $65, and that includes class for the day and then 2 weeks of email blasts from Rev Jonathan every day to remind you, keep you on track, give you a little poke that you're still doing what you need to do. You can register for that in the bookstore and online. I believe, Carmen, they can register online for spiritual economics. I'll get back to you on that. By tomorrow. You need to register by tomorrow? Online. The office is just open, so we're just catching up on some things here. Bear with us. The other thing I want to bring your attention to, which is on our announcement sheet, the annual general meeting, which is January 25th from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. That is open to everyone. If you are a member, you can vote. If you are not a member and you would just like to come and observe and hear about our wonderful financial stewardship for the year, please, you are welcome to attend, and there are 3 positions available for the board. If you think you may be interested, you can speak to Jonathan or Helen Villot, our president. One more thing, we have a new year and we have a new volunteer coordinator. I'm going to invite Lori up to the short little mic to say a few words.
Good morning, everyone. So I took on the role of volunteer coordinator about a month ago. So any of you who are currently on the list, you've been hearing from me, and I greatly appreciate it. But as our center grows, we need more help. And our lovely volunteers, they kind of do it all the time. So it would be nice to be able to infuse some more blood and new faces into our volunteer program. So if you have one Sunday a month available, that would be wonderful. If you want to do greeting, if you want to help set up, if you want to there's anybody else that works with children, that would be awesome, because our wonderful volunteer for our children's group is in university, so she's only here a couple of times throughout the year. So we really would like to have someone that would work with the kids. So we've also got a bookstore and that, so it would be wonderful if you are interested in helping on a Sunday once in a while, if you would leave your email and phone number with Carmen, then she will help get you in touch with me. Yes, Carmen, sorry. So thank you so much. I look forward to working with all of you and seeing all your lovely faces throughout the year. Thank you.
Wim, do you have a birthday this month? Do you have an anniversary this month? Then you get to draw from the basket. Yay! Stand up. Yes. And twirl. Yes. The winner is George Crawford. Yay! And the name of the charity is the Center for Spiritual Living, the Youth Conference specifically. Carmen will speak to you about that. Thanks, George. Happy birthday. All right.
It's your birthday. It's my birthday to ya. They say it's your birthday. We're gonna have a good time. I'm glad it's your birthday. Happy birthday to ya.
Happy birthday and happy anniversary to everybody who is celebrating this month. And that includes today we have Fran and Reverend Jonathan Zenz having their birthdays. Come on up.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
How is everyone this morning? Feeling good? Yes, you all look fantastic. It's great to see all of your beautiful faces. Some new, some old. Mostly my face is looking older today, specifically. Get it? And so it is. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto. My name is Jonathan. My name is Jonathan Zenz. I am the spiritual director here, and it is such a joy to celebrate with you this beautiful Sunday morning, the first Sunday of the year, the brand new year. We come here as a spiritual community every single week, every single Sunday to celebrate an idea, to celebrate the idea that there is one power, one presence, one creative resource in the universe, and we can call it whatever we want to call it. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about what we call it, so I'm not giving anything away, but let's start off by understanding that it is love. Love is the creative energy of the universe, and this is what we celebrate right here and right now. I'm so excited, it's my birthday. So, what else do I want to say about that? Lots, because it takes a lot to get me to not talk about it. Actually, I will sit down for a moment. And, we should do this song. I'm really out of sorts, and I don't know why. I'm standing up here thinking, what is going on with me today? Maybe it's just, you know what it is? I am so relaxed because my boyfriend took me out for my birthday gift last night. He got us the float spa? We went and floated in water for an hour last night. And it was pretty cool. But I'm like so relaxed. I'm like, all right, yeah. But this will pep me up, right? Let's sing this beautiful song of Karen Drucker. And Tanis is going to lead us on this. The lyrics are on your song sheet if you want to follow along.
Feel free to stand up and move if you want. These are the gifts of the Spirit, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the Spirit, I am ready to receive all of the gifts of the Spirit, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the
Spirit I am ready to receive. Love,
Love,
are you ready?
are you ready?
Joy,
Joy,
are you ready?
are you ready?
And peace,
Peace,
are you ready?
are you ready?
Are you ready to receive? These are the gifts of the Spirit. Love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the Spirit I am ready to receive. All of the gifts of the Spirit. Love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the Spirit I am ready to receive. Compassion,
Compassion,
I am ready.
I am ready.
Forgiveness,
Forgiveness,
I am ready.
I am ready.
Oh, and laughter,
Laughter,
I am ready.
I am ready.
I am ready to receive. And passion,
Passion,
I am ready.
I am ready.
Success,
Yes,
I am ready.
I am ready.
Abundance,
Abundance,
I am ready.
I am ready.
I am ready to receive. These are the gifts of the Spirit.
Love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the Spirit I am ready to receive.
All of the
Gifts of the Spirit. Love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the Spirit I am ready to receive.
all the gifts of the Spirit.
Love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the Spirit I am ready to receive.
All of the
Gifts of the Spirit. Love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the Spirit I am ready to receive.
All right. So this morning, I was putting the song sheet together, and I put in all the lyrics, and then I create a thing that gets printed out, and I realized at the end of, you see where it says compassion, forgiveness, laughter, and then the very last line it says, I am ready to receive, and I inadvertently put a question mark. I did that there, and I did it on the next verse as well, and so of course I'm calling myself out on it, as you do, but it is actually something that has a deeper meaning, I realize. I was thinking about this during the song. How many of us are actually asking the question rather than making the statement in life? In pretty much anything we do. How many of us are asking the question, asking for permission to live a great life rather than just living a great life? So it's something to think about today. I want to say welcome to anyone who's watching us online. Of course, I forgot to welcome them earlier. If you're watching us live or in the archive, it's great to know that you are joining us today. And I'm grateful for your presence here. There are some people who do not live the question mark. They live the question, but they don't live the question mark. Get it? Mm-hmm. One of those people is the president of our board of trustees and a brilliant practitioner, and is going to be she is in ministerial school and will actually be covering, giving the talk next week. Where's Jonathan going? I actually will, so I'm not going to be here next week. I am going on spiritual retreat to the Center for Spiritual Living in Kauai. I know. I think
Try and have a good time.
It's going to be really hard for me to have a good time there.
Yeah.
No, but Helen will be offering her wonderful brand of wisdom, but to give you a little, an inkling of what she has to offer. A preview, that's what I'm looking for. Thank you, Tony. To give you a little preview, please welcome to the lectern, Helen Bello.
It does fit right underneath there. Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone online as well. So, the song, something came through in the song. Are you ready to receive? My question is, are you ready to be? Are you willing to be the gifts of Spirit? Because how many of you make resolutions, New Year's resolutions? Few. Or set intentions. Mm-hmm. Yeah, setting intentions. Yesterday in the vision board workshop, I talked about purpose And I talked about purpose as not being something that we do in the world. Because people think, oh, if I could find my purpose of what it is I'm supposed to do in the world, then I'll be okay. And then I'll know. And then everything will fall into place. And no, what you do is your creative expression. There's 4 pillars that that Science of Mind addresses in building our life from. And it's relationships, health, wealth, and our creative expression. And our purpose, our overriding purpose, is to be love. To be love. To be love. And then what are all the other aspects of spirit that we are called and compelled to express and be and live in life? Truth, honor, grace, wisdom, harmony, joy, happiness, peace, abundance. Community came up yesterday. Courage, forgiveness, embracing. These are our purposes. Purposes? Is that a right word? Yeah, that works. That works. This is what we are called to express in each area of our life, in creating wealth, in creating relationships, in expressing our creative energy and vibrancy, in our health. And so I invite you to think about this year. What are you compelled to step into and live and be that is your purpose, your soul's purpose for being here? Because each one of us, we do have a divine purpose. And love is part of that, absolutely. Joy is part of that, absolutely. And what else? What else do you need to bring forth and live your life from, knowing that by being spirit, by being it, not doing, not thinking about it, being it and living from that place, that everything else in your life will unfold in absolute divine order, in absolute perfection. Because we think we have to do. And we're so conditioned, I got to do this, and then I have this goal, and then if I do this, and then my life will be okay. And it's like, step into being this year. Step into really embodying the truth of who you are. Be love, be spirit, be peace, be compassion, be forgiveness. Be what you are compelled to be in your life, and let that shine through. Let it shine through, because that is how we are going to be in contribution to making not only our lives expand in love and joy, but also expanding and contributing to the love and the light and the peace and the joy on this earth. And so now I never followed any of my notes. This is what happens. And I think I'm still under 5 minutes. But I found this quote from Mother Teresa, and I thought it was really, really beautiful, and I'd like to share it with you. There is a light in this world, a healing spirit more powerful than any darkness we may encounter. We sometimes lose sight of this force when there is suffering, too much pain. Then suddenly, the Spirit will emerge through the lives of ordinary people who hear a call and answer in extraordinary ways. So let Spirit move through you and call you, and let your life be extraordinary, not just ordinary. Extraordinary, because that's who you are. That's who we all are. And so, I have an affirmation. It is, I am a commitment to being versus doing. I live a purpose-filled life. So I invite you to repeat that with me. I am a commitment to being versus doing. I live a purpose-filled life. One more time. I am a commitment to being versus doing. I live a purpose-filled life. Namaste.
It's wonderful. I love it. I am a commitment. Think about that. I am a commitment. I am a commitment to being versus doing. Allow that to resonate with you for just a moment. Allow yourself to sink into that place of deeper understanding. Simply allow. Love is all there is. I am one with the Spirit. I realize the truth, and I speak it. I am thankful for it all. I release it. I let it go. And so it is. And so it is. I know it is. And I receive as I believe. Amen. And so I invite you all to take a breath, relax, and allow yourself to be washed over with these words, this treatment of Helen Bellow.
Breathing into this moment, this precious spacious, benevolent moment that is filled with love, for there is only love. Love is God expressing in so many beautiful ways. Love is who we are. Love that heals, love that conquers, love that allows us to be our true, authentic self and to give voice to it, to express it, to live it, and to embody the knowingness that in each and every moment we are perfect, whole, and complete. We are spirit. We are spiritual beings living in a spiritual universe. Yes, we are. And I say thank you for this. Thank you for this knowing. Thank you for the understanding that love, this energy of love, that actually is not even expressible in words, for it is a feeling. It is an incredible, vibrant feeling of peace and joy and trust and love and faith and beauty and grace that moves through every cell of our body to anchor in the understanding that we are these incredible beings with a power within us to live on purpose, to live and be love. And for this knowing, I am grateful. For this incredible community, I am grateful. For the beginning of this new year, stepping into a beingness that is truly divine, I am grateful. And so I now release my word. I let it go and I let the divine spirit flow, knowing all is well. And so it is now.
God is all there is. I am one with the Spirit. I realize the truth, and I speak it. 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 I re
and I speak it. I am thankful for it all. I release it. I let it go. And so it is. And so it is. I know it is. And I receive as I believe. And so it is. And so it is. I know it is. And I receive as I believe. Amen. 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 Thank you, Helen. I am so excited to experience the blossoming of your ministry. I really am. So music, being an incredibly part of what I do and incredible part of my ministry, is it cannot be stated enough. It just can't. I love music, I love singing, and I love the people that I get to play with every single week, which is this band, the Queen Street Band, and I'm so grateful to each and every one of them. Premiering a brand new song today, which is it's a great song. I'm so excited. And yes, I'm just going to let them have it. So, Pierre Gautreau and the Queen Street Band with a brand new Pierre Gautreau original.
If it makes you feel good, if it makes you feel the way it should, if it makes you feel love, that's the kind of feel I'm thinking of. Love makes you feel. Love makes you feel. Love is how we start. Love comes from the heart. If it makes you feel, makes you kind, if it makes you feel peace of how we start.
Pierre Gautreau, the Queen Street Band. Love makes you feel. Doesn't it, though? Just, relax into that groove. Yeah. Yeah. The year was 1927. For those of you who are online, who maybe didn't hear that, Tony said, "How old are you?" I am young. I'm 42 years young today. Whoa! I think I look all right for 42. Yeah. But you know what? It's not even really about what I look like. It's how do I feel? Because how I feel actually is a precursor to how people experience me in the world. It really has nothing to do with how I look. How do I feel? What is the energy that I'm putting out there? Because that is how people perceive me. We perceive energy before we ever notice what anybody looks like. Think about that. I look younger now because of the energy that I put out. I look younger now than I did 10 years ago. And if people are always, if you go to a conference, and I'm going to be going to a convention in Las Vegas in February, a spiritual living convention, which is the larger organization, the Centers for Spiritual Living, of which we are a part, has a convention every single year. And if you want to go see some of the youngest looking old people in the world, seriously, come to the conference, because there are people that you find out how old these people are in physical age, and it'll blow your mind. It will blow your mind. If you want to stay young, think good thoughts. The year was 1927. There's a new movement, sort of, that is being born out of an established movement called New Thought. This new movement is called religious science. It is founded by a man named Dr. Ernest Holmes, and this is the man who wrote this tome, The Science of Mind, and this is the main textbook from which this is the main textbook we use for our philosophy. That's what I'm trying to say. It's the main study point in a lot of the early classes. What he founded was called the Institute of Religious Science and School of Philosophy. The Institute of Religious Science and School of Philosophy. That same year, 1927, the Institute publishes a magazine. The magazine is called Religious Science. That magazine is now, it's still published, it is now called Science of Mind magazine. We carry it in our gift store. The very inside back cover was a statement of principles titled What We Believe. What We Believe. And what was written there has become a guide. A guide for this organization has become a guide for this particular center. And it has been printed in every single issue of that magazine ever since, What We Believe. For the next 15 weeks, oh my gosh, 15 weeks, we're actually going to be breaking down the Declaration of Principles sentence by sentence, and that's going to be what will inspire us each week as our Sunday source of inspiration. So we start with the very first sentence in this Declaration of Principles. I believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. I believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. So this entire philosophy begins with this premise. We teach a belief in God. We teach a belief in God. And this may come as a disappointment to some people, to anyone who has found their way here in an effort to escape God. And there are people who come to this philosophy to escape God because they don't want to hear that word. They don't want to think about what that word is. They don't want to have a new consideration for what that word might be in their lives. Yes, we teach a belief in God. So then what is fundamentally the next question? If we teach a belief in God, what might come to mind? What is God? What is God? Right? What is God? Now, these were written by Ernest Holmes and published in the magazine. I believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty. Well, there's some clues in there. It is living, it is alive, and it is almighty. Right? One, indestructible, cannot be destroyed. Absolute, not relative, it is absolute. It is whole, complete, and absolute. And self-existent cause. Self-existent is a really interesting key here because it has to create in order to exist. And it creates of itself from itself. Have I lost you yet? I believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. Now, many of you have heard me say this before, but it is worth repeating. God is a principle, not a personality. God is not some man. God is not some being out there. God is a principle. Now, I grew up, as I think many of us did, I grew up in a society that professed God as something out there, something that was beyond reach. And yet, if we prayed hard enough, we could maybe get close. I didn't go to church growing up. That's the interesting thing. And yet, I grew up in a society where I learned that to get close to God, I needed to pray. But I didn't go to church. We are very indoctrinated with this idea in our society. And the societal influence is quite profound. You know, I grew up in the United States, and they're trying very hard to make it even more and more and more influential, the ideas and the beliefs of Christianity. And I have no issue with Christianity. In fact, the Institute of Religious Science, I forget exactly what it says on the cover of the Religious Science magazine in October of 1927, the first edition, but it says something along the lines of, we are applied Christian doctrine. This is applied Christianity. That's how Ernest Holmes conceived it. But he did not want to start a new religion. He did not want to start a new denomination of Christianity. So we've incorporated many other philosophies into our teaching, and we've set Christianity in line with having equal understanding and power as any other philosophy out there. That's the truth. The question that I ask you today is, what do you believe? What do you believe? You can be a part of this philosophy and you can be Jewish. You can be a part of this philosophy and be Muslim. You can be a part of this philosophy and be Buddhist. You can be a part of this philosophy and be Christian. Because what we teach fundamentally works with all of it. And that's what draws me to this particular philosophy. So no, I didn't go to church. I didn't go to church growing up. And now I basically run a church. One of the things I was going to talk about on Christmas, at our Christmas service, right? And I realized after the service I had completely forgotten, and I turned around, and I don't know if any of you noticed that I had a teddy bear. Many of you may have noticed I had a teddy bear sitting on a stool back here through the entire service, and I did the whole service, got to the end of the last song, Jingle Bell Rock, and I turned around with that and thought to myself, oh gosh, I forgot to talk about the bear. But this actually works today because it goes into how inculcated I was with Christianity at a young age, even though I didn't go to church. At 4 years old, I decided, because we were celebrating Christmas in my home, I lived with my grandparents, my father and I lived with my grandparents, and I remember my aunt was in town, and I decided that I needed to stage the nativity for my family, because this is what we did at Christmas. know, but somehow it got into my psyche that I was to celebrate Christmas, and this is the way we celebrate Christmas. So I staged the nativity. So I took that teddy bear is 42 years old. I took that teddy bear, actually it's in my desk, I should go, no, you don't need to see it. I'll show it to you after service. And I wrapped it up in, a towel or something, as though it was in swaddling, and then I had a cardboard box which I put shredded newspaper in, and I put the teddy bear in there, and then I took a sheet, and I wrapped myself in the sheet, got on my knees as though I was Mary. What was their first clue? 4 years old. And I sang Silent Night to my bear. This was my understanding of Christianity at 4 years old. I had no idea what I was doing, but I was parroting back what was being indoctrinated into me. We take on beliefs from myriad sources, and it is This is my 42-year-old teddy bear, the baby Jesus. It's funny because I never gave my bear a name, and maybe it is appropriate that I will call you Jesus. All right, you just sit there and watch the rest of my talk. With a lint roller. There's a lint roller in here too. All right. So what was I saying? So we take on beliefs. We take on beliefs from myriad sources. And one of the things that I am mostly interested in teaching people is to really get in touch with what it is you do believe, because your beliefs are setting up your experience. That's the whole philosophy. Your beliefs show up as your experience. So as I was growing up in a Christian nation, and let's not doubt it, the majority of the U.S. is Christian, and I grew up in the U.S., so I talk about the U.S., although I prefer to live in Canada. I doubted the idea of God as I had come to understand God as something. I doubted it. I never went so far as to call myself an atheist, though, because I always thought there was something. I always thought there was something, some power. But I never had a way of expressing it or understanding it until I came to this philosophy, and seemingly by mistake. That's a whole other talk, though. A couple nights ago, I watched a documentary on Netflix called The Unbelievers. I don't know if any of you have seen this documentary. As a piece of film work, it was not very exciting to me. I will give you that preface as my own little editorial comment. But what it was talking about was interesting to me. It follows Richard Dawkins and Lawrence Krauss on a global speaking tour. Do any of you know who these men are? Richard Dawkins, yeah, and Lawrence Krauss. So Dawkins is an evolutionary biologist. Krauss is a theoretical physicist. And I had a moment because Lawrence Krauss is a professor at Arizona State University, which already predisposes me to not liking him because I went to the University of Arizona. No, he's fine. Both men are Judy is laughing over there. Both men are self-professed atheists. They are both self-professed atheists. And here's the premise of the film. The premise of the film is to really encourage the importance of science and reason in the modern world and take us away from mythology. Because ultimately, if you look at the stories of the Bible, it's mythology. There was a time when we thought, well, not us personally, but there was a time when the majority of humanity thought that Juno was a god. There are some who still do. So, taking the mythology out of the Bible and starting to understand it from the premise and the principle that there is something to be learned of mythology from a metaphorical standpoint. That is why I still uphold the importance of those stories. And not just the Bible, but all mythology. Fundamentally, I don't disagree with the idea that science and reason are important in our world. Absolutely. And I do believe, actually, fundamentally, for me, those do take precedence over the idea of allowing mythology to be this thing in my life that takes me on some journey of belief that may or may not uphold my greatest life. What struck me, though, as I was watching this documentary is this idea. These men are fundamentally religious about their science. And they were proselytizing science to such a degree that they are just as extreme for me as extremists in religion. And when we proselytize science as being the only way to approach the world, we're missing something. We're missing something. They seemed to me to be so blinded by their science, it seemed to me that they have stepped beyond a willingness to look beyond their microscope. In the same way that religionists can have tunnel vision in this direction, scientists can have tunnel vision in this direction. And we're missing all of this. Science, and here's part of the issue with science. Science actually doesn't prove anything. Science doesn't prove anything. The only purpose of science is to disprove. That's one of the first things you learn in science. The only thing you're doing is ever disproving, right? It sets up expectations for our observations, but it actually doesn't prove anything. What it does is it sets us up in what we refer to in this philosophy as race consciousness. It sets up statistics. It sets up that expectation of, well, if it's always been this way, it always will be this way. And there are laws of nature. There are laws of nature which support that idea. If it shows up this way, it will always show up this way. But in our lives, that does not have to be the case. Just because you are genetically predisposed in your family to the idea of cancer, it cannot have any effect on you unless you have a willingness in your own mind to accept it in your experience, knowingly or unknowingly. And so let's all know that we are perfect health embodied 100% of the time, without a doubt. And I love that you've started using this in your treatments. And it goes with that one talk I did, right? Because this is actually, so I'll tell you another part of the story. And so it is now. Not sometime in the future. Now, right now. And so it goes in line with that talk I gave a month or 2 months or 3 months last year sometime, where I really got to the idea of saying, and now it is. Now, right now. Life is lived right in this moment and at no other time. Because time doesn't actually exist. This is it. So, science doesn't prove anything. It only disproves. Science cannot prove the existence of God. But it cannot disprove God either. And this is when we start to take that tunnel vision and open up a little bit. And the religionists can take their tunnel vision and open up a little bit. And pretty soon we all start to see the world with fresh eyes. Science cannot prove the existence of God, but it cannot disprove God either. So we arrive back at a fundamental premise of this philosophy and where we start today. We believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. We do not purport that God is anything more than that. It is nothing more than creative energy. That's all God is. God is cause in a cause and effect universe. And here's where the scientific side of this comes in. It is up to each and every one of us to test this belief. That is the science in the science of mind, in religious science. Ernest Holmes was very clear. He wanted us to test this philosophy, to put it to the test, to prove it every single day in our experience, to disprove the idea that we were subject to anything outside of ourselves. So today, we begin a year-long experiment. A year-long experiment. And I am calling upon each and every one of you to engage in this experiment with me. Here is the hypothesis I would like to test. This is the hypothesis. Life is infinitely better when we live out loud. Life is infinitely better when we live out loud. Here's how we're going to test our hypothesis. First of all, ask a question. Ask a simple question in everything that you experience, everything you do. Let this be at the forefront of your mind in all things for this entire year. Oh my gosh, a whole year. When you're faced with life's issues, ask this question. What if, and if it's an issue that you don't want to experience anymore, what if the opposite of the issue? If it's something that you want to experience more of, what if I experienced more of this? What if I experienced more abundance? I'm experiencing lack right now. What if I chose not to experience lack and to step into abundance? I'm experiencing in this moment ill health. What if, not really, by the way, what if I chose to step into my divine birthright, which is health, healthful living? What if? Start to ask this question every day in every moment. What if? What if I approached this life experience with love and kindness only? Only. What if I approached this life experience with forgiveness? What if I approached this life experience through inspired wisdom, allowing that to be the only guiding principle for me? What if? What would happen, do you think? What would happen? This year, we're going to live out loud. That is the theme for this center for the entire year, living out loud. And it is up to each and every one of us to test this idea in every area of our life and observe the results. It is important to observe the results as you experience them as well. See what happens. You will never be able, through this process, by the way, you will never be able to prove God. You will never be able to prove God. You will never be able to prove the cause to the things that are showing up in your life. But what you can do is begin to disprove anything unlike it in your experience. You can let it go. You can surrender to the inspiration of the divine in your life. And that is entirely up to you. So let us, this year, let us spend our energy, our time on living out loud. Let's not cower behind doubt and fear any longer. Let's step boldly into creation and love. Love only. That's it. Love only. Let's not be afraid of who we are, because who we are is that which is. We believe in God. We believe in God, and we are that which is. That's next week's talk, Helen. Spoiler alert. Keep this question close at hand. Am I living out loud? In this instance, in this moment, am I living out loud? And if the answer is no, then ask yourself, what if I chose to live out loud? Your whole life is an experiment. Our whole life is an experiment, right? So let's not allow anything in life to go untested. Nothing. Let's see what conclusions we can come to as we draw to a close at the end of this year. And I'm going to encourage everyone to start a journal this week to keep track of your observations. I don't often talk about those kinds of practices, but keep a journal this year. If you've never kept a journal, you don't have to do that much. Write a sentence in it. That'll get you started. Write one sentence every day and then expand upon that. It's not that hard to keep a journal, but start to observe and keep notes of your observations in a journal and see what you come to at the end of the year. I am so looking forward to this year. I'm so looking forward to the growth of this center this year. I'm so looking forward to what we have to offer this world in terms of a philosophy that works for me and possibly for other people. Because I will also say, this philosophy may not work for you. That's okay too. Find what does. Find what does work for you. That's part of living out loud. So are you ready to take this journey with me, this year-long journey with me? That was convincing. Oh, the rhetorical sign is on? All right. With a little enthusiasm, I'm going to ask you this. Are you ready to have this journey, this experience with me this entire year? Yes. Absolutely. I am so grateful to each and every one of you for your attention today, for coming and showing up in this place with love, and I look forward to all that we offer and all that we have to share this year. Namaste. So we've started a new thing. We got rid of the popsicle sticks. How many people liked the popsicle sticks? Oh, I'm sorry you're disappointed, but we've decided to move to these cards. If you are part of the stewardship program, if you are contributing to this center through pre-authorized donations, you can grab a card on your way in to the center, and this is what you can use to put into the basket as we step into our time of offering. If you are not part of our pre-authorized program, I encourage you to take a look at that because it is a great way for us to be supported throughout the year and to know what it is we can expect in terms of our financial situation. I choose to step up. Spiritual truth expressing prosperously. That's stepping up. Spiritual truth expressing prosperously. And I want to draw your attention to the back of the card, which is a thank you. An expression of gratitude from me and from the Board of Trustees of this center. So whatever you have to offer today, please take it out and hold it in your hand and recognize it for what it is. It is an aspect of living out loud. It is an aspect of givingness, and as we give, so we receive. This is the truth. This is a fundamental truth that we teach, for the law of cause and effect works both directions. We are cause to every effect that shows up in our experience, and as we give, that is cause to what we receive back. That is the effect. So think about that as the baskets go around. We're going to sing this great song, another Pierre Gautreau, awesome song. I was going to say a fascinating song. Pierre Gautreau, and what do I have?
What do I have to give? What do I need to live? What do I have to share? What do I do to show I care? What do I have to give? What do I need to live? What do I have to share? What do I do to show I care? What do I have to give? What do I need to live? What do I have to share? What do I do to show I care?
I'll invite Helen below to do a blessing over the offering.
In this moment of gratitude, I say thank you for all of the blessings received here today, knowing that these blessings are also an expression of God in action. It is energy, it is a currency of love. And for this, I know that all that is received with an open, grateful heart. And it is used and honored to grow this center, to expand these teachings, and to let people know that they can step into their magnificence and live an extraordinary life. And so I say thank you for all that we have received here today. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this service. And thank you, Spirit. Thank you, God, for your infinite presence in each and every one of us. I release, I let go, and I let it be so. And it is now. So it is.
Thank you, Helen. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Sometimes it takes me a moment. If you are involved in social media, we also can use your help. We are making concerted, definite efforts into expanding our reach on social media. So if you're on Facebook, please like us on Facebook and let your friends know about us. Also, if you are on Twitter, join us on Twitter. We do tweet things out occasionally. Also, check out the conference on Twitter, tonewthought.com, or tonewthought is our Twitter handle for the conference. The other thing is we've just started a new thing, and Helen is sitting here with my old iPhone, because I've upgraded my iPhone, but we've decided to explore Instagram as well. So we now have an Instagram account, and if you're on Instagram, check us out at CSL Toronto on Instagram. Instagram is photos, right? Instagram is photos, yeah. So, you know, you can see pictures from Helen's brilliant workshop yesterday, and there are pictures that she's posting now of today's experience, and we'll continue and continue and continue.
Take a breath. Right here in this moment, we have an opportunity. Right here in this moment, we are that which is. And in knowing this, we can step back, relax, release, and allow. For we are always held. We are always held in this loving energy. That's the truth. So I invite you to take whatever you've heard today, whatever resonates with you, and allow yourself to embody it. Allow yourself the gift of letting it be active in your life. Simply allow. I'm held in love, I'm held in peace. God is holding me. With every breath, with every step, God is holding me. I'm held in love, I'm held in peace. God is holding me. With every breath, with every step, God is holding me. God is holding me. God is holding me. God is holding me. God is holding me.
step into a deeper understanding right in this moment. I believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This causative force is at play right here and right now. For we are, each and every one of us, living its life. We are swimming in a sea of receptivity. We are experiencing God as God. Each and every one of us, for there is nothing but God. Nothing but cause, nothing but this creative resource. It is who and what we are, and I live this right here and right now. This is my choice. I choose to be more fully inspired in every aspect of my life. I choose to live out loud. I choose to have a brilliant experience of life. And I trust and know that my choice resonates with other people, every single person experiencing this celebration today. And in our own unique, individualized way, we each of us make the choice to step it up and live out loud as well. And in knowing that we are supported by this divine energy, the experience of living out loud emboldens us and expands our life, expands the experience, so that we live only the experience of joy, love, light, life, peace, power, and beauty, all grounded in infinite inspired wisdom. For this and for so many things, I am grateful. I am grateful for this teaching of Dr. Ernest Holmes. I'm grateful for everyone that preceded Dr. Holmes in bringing this and expressing this in their own unique way. I'm grateful for the expression of this teaching in this center. I'm grateful for everyone who came together today to make this service what it is. I'm grateful for Linda and Judy, our board members today. I'm grateful for Lori in setting up. I'm grateful for our greeters, Jim, Lena. Grateful for Margaret Ann and Chris in the bookstore. I'm grateful to Carrie and Dane on the soundboard. Grateful to Ram and Tony, ensuring that our webcast gets out to this world. Grateful for Mahala with the dynamic kids today. I am grateful to Pierre Gautreau and the entire Queen Street Band. I am grateful for Judy and her beautiful meditation this morning. I am grateful for Helen as our practitioner of the day. And I'm grateful to each and every person who's shown up, not just here, but in their lives, which is each and every one of us. I am grateful. And so I allow gratitude to resonate and flow forth into creation as I release this word to that immutable law that says, yes, it is complete. It is done right here and right now. I let it be so, as together we say, and so it is now.
Now.
God is holding me. God is holding me. God is holding me. God is holding me. I'm held in love. I'm held in peace. God is holding me. With every breath, with every step, God is holding me.
And so it is. Now. You know, I'm going to become known in this movement for the chocolate chip theory, and you're going to become known for, and so it is now. even though Ernest Holmes did write it back in 1950. So we're going to end the day with this great, great song of Ricky and Michael Beckwith. I have a story to tell you.
Tell us about it, Jonathan.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you gotta let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you got to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Have a great Sunday. Join us for fellowship in the lobby.
Birthday cake in the lobby!